Well, I managed to clean off a little space here on the bench underneath one of my work lights, so I can do a little quick flea market segment, so I can go over some of the stuff I've picked up, and mainly I just want to do this right now so I can put it all away, because I got it all piled all over the parts washer, and I need the parts washer right now. So without further ado, let's just do this up. Alright, first item I picked up was 3 more calipers. This is a nice inside set right here. These are marked, I don't know what these are marked. They're marked USA, something USA. I need my magnifier. ATCO, A-T-C-O, USA. So that's kind of a nicely made pair of inside calipers. I like the attention to detail they gave here when they made these. Got that kind of nice shape to it. Little ball on the end there. And so then, can't help but notice that somewhat similar and yet different. What we got here? Where are my Starrett experts? Oh, this is Starrett right here. So, needs to be cleaned up, but it's not badly rusted. I've got some calipers in the box there that have quite a bit of rust on them and are going to need to be cleaned up. And now I'm thinking, boy, if I have any that are like the same size as this and they're not as clean as this, I'll get rid of them and I'll keep this, keep the cleaner ones here. And then here's another inside pair. These, funny, they got a little ball on the end, but the ball's a little bit of a different shape, and this thumb wheel's a different shape. But this looks like this is also an ATCO. Where it's the most heavily rusted is right. Oh, that wasn't good. That was a bad choice. I just made it black. Actually, these say Cloutier. C-L-O-U-T-I-E-R. Wait a minute though, that looks like it says Start up in the corner. There we go. Yeah, this is the Alice Starrett company. But then down here, below it, it says something .Cloutier. So I'm wondering if that's the owner's name. I wonder if he stamped this. Boy, he would have had to have had a stamp made, because those letters are so straight. He would have had to have had a stamp made with his full name on it and used it to stamp these. So these are Starretts. These are ATCOs. And these are Starrett. These are also marked something else. Curious now. Oh, okay. The other markings on the other leg are patented June 2nd, 1885. So I got these 3 calipers. I think I paid $10 for the 3. I don't even remember who I bought these off of now. It wasn't my usual guy, I don't think. Actually, I think I may have bought 2 pair off of him. No, one. I bought 1 pair with something else. Losing track. But I got these dirt cheap, I know that. And then this lathe dog. My regular guy had this lathe dog. There was a drill bit stuck in this for some reason. It's a little lathe dog. And this is the drill bit that was in it. This was actually in a box like this. The other way, like that. It was like that. So we were trying to figure out why a guy would put it away like that. Because he was using this as like a handle and using this to, like, I don't know, deburr a hole or something. But there was that. And I forgot what he put it. this hunk of steel. I figured again put it with my pile of stuff in case I need something for a project. A nice little size. Another punch. This I might have already showed you guys in a previous video. I don't remember. This is the one that somebody really beat the snot out of. Mushroom that over like heck. But it's still pretty straight. So, and then I don't know what happened here. Somebody abused it over here too. This started out its life as a nice punch, 5/16, and I believe this might have been a start. You know what? Maybe not. Maybe this isn't the one I'm thinking of. Can't find a maker's name on that one. Just a brass rod. File. This is a mill bastard. Watch your mouth. It's a Nicholson. Still usable. Somebody I normally don't buy tools from because she's really overpriced at her booth. She had a little drawer thing with screws and everything, and I opened up one of the drawers and I happened to spot this, which I've got several of these in the larger size, so I knew right away what it was. It's a leather punch. It's for cutting holes in leather. But the reason why I've got them is because I'm thinking I'm going to be able to use them for maybe making holes when I'm making gaskets. So I wanted this small one, and I spotted this lone tap in there, and it seems like a pretty nice tap. This is a 1/4-inch National pipe thread. It's a rigid tap, 7/16 drill. So I gave her $1 for those two pieces. And then just this weekend, I went back to my regular guy and was going through some stuff, and I spotted this reamer, and I noticed it was tapered, and sure enough, I looked at it. This is a W&B, made in USA. It says G30. It says FIN. I don't know if that means finish, but over here it says MT2. So I believe this is a Morse taper number 2 reamer. So this would be, if you've got a Morse taper number 2 sleeve or something like that that you just finished boring, and you want to ream it to size, that's what that is. So that was a nice find. I got that, and he had $10 on this micrometer. This is marked WJ2583 Japan, and on this side it's marked NSK. And I think this is kind of a budget set that you could buy maybe out of like the MSC Direct catalog or something like that. But you know, it's made in Japan. It's got the carbide anvil and the carbide tip on it. It's got the click stop, and it's got the little lock here. And it's a 2 to 3 inch mic, and he had $10 on it, and he's had it for a couple weeks now. I think he kind of got lost in the shuffle. I'm surprised this actually was still there, because you know, I know, like he was saying, he didn't have a chance to take it apart and clean it or anything. There it goes. But I mean, I got it for $5 and $1 for the Morse taper number 2 reamer. So $6 for these two items. I thought that was a good deal. I don't know how many of the 2 to 3 inch micrometers I have, so that's why I figured, even though it was an off-brand name. Again, you know, carbide anvil, carbide tip, made in Japan. And I think this normally would have been part of a set. You would have had, you know, a case that would have had several sizes in it. But hey, $5, I think that's a deal. So then I went to my the used tool store in the city that I don't normally do much shopping at, because you know, it's in the city and you can find some deals there, but you can't find the kind of highway robbery steals that I'm used to getting these days. So, but anyways, and he doesn't get a lot of machinist stuff in there. And I went in there, and lo and behold, he had gotten in some stuff, and he had one of his plastic tubs there, and it was chock full of collets, and he just had a sign on there that the collets were all $2 a piece. And I was like, well, $2 a piece, I gotta look through these. So I started looking through them, and finally I just was like, I noticed on the bottom there was a bunch of end mills and center drills, but they were all, you know, pretty well used and beat up. So I tried to buy the whole box from him just so I wouldn't have to go through all of them. And you know, he didn't want to give them to me at $1 a piece if I bought the whole box. So I said, well, then I think I'm gonna just go with the $2 a piece and cherry pick them. And even then, I went through and I set aside a pile, and I said, I set aside 11, and I said, how about I give you $2 a piece for these 10, and you throw in the 11th. And he always kids me because he acts like I'm beating him up, and oh, you know. But anyway, so I got the first 10. I've got the first 11 for $20, and then I said to him, I said, okay, what's left that I pulled out, I'll go $1.50 a piece on. And I had quite a few, so he took that deal. I think I ended up walking out of there paying about $38.50 or somewhere around there, and I got all of these. So we'll take a look at what I picked out. I didn't take every single one. There were a few I left behind. There were some really small ones that probably were like before a jeweler's lathe. You know, those might have been real sleepers. That might have been something that I, you know, should have paid $1.50 a piece for and taken them and eBayed them or something. But could have very easily have just, you know, ended up getting something that I paid $1.50 for that I couldn't even get an opening bid of 99 cents for on eBay, and then have to go through the trouble of shipping it and all that. I mean, as it is, I thought I was pretty safe paying $1.50 a piece for anything that looked like a 5C collet. And then I went on eBay and I realized, you know what, depending on what size it is and everything and who made it, I see those on there for 99 cents. But then you got to pay like $5 to ship it. So anyways, give me a second to unload these. All right, well, let me start with the ones that I paid him his full asking price of $2 a piece for, and that's pretty much anything that looked like it was R8. So these all look like they're going to be R8. This one, I took it out of the plastic bag because it looked like there was some moisture maybe was getting to it. But this one was brand new. This is a this is a Royal. Yeah, this is definitely R8. This is a Royal 1/4 inch. This one's a little beat up. Can't see the size on this one or the maker, but it's definitely R8. But the marks there look like that was something happened to that. This one's got some surface rust on it. This is a something, this looks like it says Neil Skokie. Neil Skokie 1/8 inch. That one will clean up okay. I don't know what size that is. Now this is interesting. This one, it's an R8, but somebody scratched an X on it right there. Now I'm wondering whether or not there's something wrong with this collet, and maybe the guy marked it with an X so that he knew that there was something about it. I don't know. Just odd to me. Here's another one that, other than the light surface rust, looks almost brand new. That's another Royal. That was in pretty good shape. Here's a 1/2 inch R8. Also don't know who makes that one. Oh, this one's marked down here. Made in Germany. Alright, that's got to be a good one, right? Made in Germany. It's another larger one that's been around the block. A little beat up. Can't find any markings on this one. Then this is an R8 to a Morse taper. Thought I saw this marked somewhere, but I just figured that it's got to be a. So I could see the place where the tang for the drill bit would go down in there. So that one's kind of beat up, but I don't know. Figured I might be able to use that. And then this was in there. This is actually for a milling cutter. It's missing the screw, but there would be a cutter that went on here, and there were two cutters in the box, but both of the cutters were damaged. So I just took the holder. So I got those for $2 a piece. I was just curious if there was a name on this one. Then I grabbed all of these. I grabbed all the ones that look like 5C collets. I grabbed all those for $1.50 a piece because I knew that I think the 5C collets are handy for like certain, like maybe indexing heads or something like that might use that. I just figured at some point I might want to have a set of 5C collets, so it might not be a bad idea to start putting them together. And then whatever I can't use, I can always, again, back to Flea, I guess. This one's a South Bend. South Bend -5, so I'm assuming that means it's a 5C, 7/8 collet. And that looks like it's in pretty good shape. Here's a 1/2 inch. This is marked R-S-B 5, so I'm assuming that's also a 5C. This one's marked .156. So there's a size for you. Now that's interesting. Look how deep the threads are on that one. So maybe I got something to learn about collets. Maybe that's not a 5C. Maybe these aren't 5C just because they say 5 on them. Let me just grab these real quick. These are the ones that look pretty. Alright, here we go. Here's a 1/4 inch. This one's clearly marked 5C, 1/4 inch, hardinge. Hardinge is a good name. Here's another South Bend, 1/8 inch. Here's another hardinge, 9/16, 5C. And here's another hardinge, 3/16, 5C. So, got those. Then I've got some ones that are a little more, well, alright, this is just a really big one. Not sure what size that is. And then you've got ones like this that have steps on the inside here. And I think these are for like holding small pieces that are larger in diameter, but like maybe like oh, I don't know. Like if you had a miniature version of this that you wanted to hold. I think that's what these are for. And then I've got a few different styles of those. Not there. That's almost like to hold a washer. I've got a book on running a lathe that was written by a guy, I think he's in England. So he's using some terminology there that I think is more over the pond terminology, and I want to say, I think he called a collet like this, I think he called it a thin piece collet, and he was showing how you would use a collet like this to actually machine a piece like a washer, or something like a small like well, like this for instance. Okay, say I wanted to enlarge that hole. Well, then I would find the appropriate size collet that would fit in, and then that would clamp onto that, and then I could come in here and I could turn on the inside here and enlarge that hole, or use a drill bit, I guess. I think that's what some of these are maybe for. I don't know. It'll be fun to find out. That collet is so heavy. That one there. It's really solid, that one. But, you know, I got a couple like these. This is an R8. Looks like an R8 collet, but it's got the mouth on it like for holding thin pieces. So I couldn't figure out what you would use this for. Because I was thinking the R8 would be more for like in the spindle of the milling machine. But I don't know if my index head that I have, I don't remember what that uses for collets. I thought I tried one of the collets, one of the R8 collets, and it worked. So maybe I have an index head that uses R8 collets? No, that doesn't sound right. Well, I'm not going to dig it out now because it's buried in that cabinet. And this one here, this is just a regular 5C that got lost in the shuffle. This one's marked Stark, S-T-A-R-K, .625. Okay. And then this one is the one that really took the cake there as far as perplexing me. Of course, that doesn't mean anything, but I think it's got the shape that'll fit 5C. Okay, but then you get all of this hanging out in front, and so I don't know what that would be used for. That's an interesting collet to me. That's a nice heavy sturdy one. That's like solid from here forward. It's like solid steel except for the actual diameter of that hole in the middle there. So this has really beefy jaws on it. So I could see where that would really be able to clamp down and hold something tightly. Well, anyways, that's what I ended up with for the collets. So we'll put those aside, and then one of these days when I think about needing to put a set together for something, maybe I'll end up getting some sort of a fixture or something that uses that size collet, and it'll be nice to have some.
Managed to clean off about 2 square feet or 4 square feet of